You are at your desk, the screen is staring back at you, and a brilliant business idea is doing jumping jacks in your head. It's something you're actually passionate about, an idea that you know could be a game changer. And then reality hits. The thought of juggling that dream with your 9 to 5 feels like trying to pat your head, rub your stomach, and solve a Rubik's Cube at the same time. It's overwhelming. You are terrified of the balancing act, of burning out, of failing before you even get a fair shot. But what if the key to success isn't about finding more hours in the day or mainlining caffeine? What if it's not about working harder, but about asking the right questions before you even start? The difference between a side hustle that takes off and one that crashes and burns is almost always strategy, not just sweat. We are going to walk through the 7 critical questions you need to answer to build a real, sustainable business on the side, without torching your health, your relationships, or your day job. Let's get into it. The why question. What is your real fuel? Okay, before you even whisper the words business plan or to-do list, you have to answer the biggest question of all. Why are you really doing this? Is it for a little extra cash? To learn something new? To build an empire that will one day let you bid farewell to your cubicle? You have to be brutally honest with yourself. I want more money is a start, but it's not the whole story. We have to dig deeper. Why do you want more money? Is it to obliterate your student loans, save for a down payment, or achieve that glorious state of financial freedom? That deeper reason, that's your real fuel. When you are exhausted after a long day, and the absolute last thing you want to do is work more, remembering that you are building a life with more freedom is what will pull you through. Here is another powerful test. If this side hustle only ever made you an extra $50 a month, would you still enjoy doing it? If the answer is yes, you've struck gold. You've found something rooted in passion, not just profit. And that passion is your unfair advantage. Your why is your North Star. If you just want an extra $50 or $500 a month for a vacation fund, your strategy will look very different than if you are trying to build the next Under Armour, which founder Kevin Plank famously started in his grandmother's basement while still a college football player. So, take a beat, define your true north, and write it down. This is your anchor that will keep you from drifting when the storm hits. The time audit question. Where do your hours actually go? The number one killer of side hustles isn't lack of good ideas, it's what feels like a lack of time. This brings us to the second critical question. How much time can you realistically dedicate to your business each week? And I can't stress the word realistically enough. It's easy to put out your chest and say, I'll work 20 extra hours a week. But the reality of your job, your family, your chores, and your biological need for sleep will quickly call your bluff. For 1 week, I want you to conduct a ruthless time audit. Track everything, from your morning commute to that 30-minute social media doom scroll right before bed. You will be floored by where your time actually goes. You'll likely find little pockets of time you never knew existed. The hour-long lunch where you could spend 15 minutes on focus tasks, or the train ride you could use to knock out a few emails. Now, the goal here isn't to turn yourself into a productivity robot who fills every spare second with work. That's a one-way ticket to burnout. The goal is to identify and climb a specific, sustainable number of hours. Many successful founders start with just 5 to 10 hours a week. That might sound tiny, but 5 focused hours every week is over 250 hours in a year. You can build a serious foundation in that time. Once you have your number, the next step is to protect it like a dragon guards its gold. The priority question. What actions truly move the needle? So, you've carved out a block of time. Fantastic. Now, you have to be merciless about how you use it. This brings us to the question 3. What are the absolute top priorities in your 9 to 5 and in your business that will generate the biggest results? Juggling 2 careers means you have 0 time for busy work. Every single task needs to have a purpose. Start by making 2 lists, one for the day job, one for the side hustle. For the 9 to 5, identify the tasks that your performance is judged on and make sure those are always done to a high standard. Your day job is the angel investor for your dreams, so don't you dare neglect it. For your business, you need to focus on what are called high impact or revenue generating activities. In the early days, this has nothing to do with designing the perfect logo or agonizing over the website's color palette. It's about validating your idea, getting your first client, or making your first sale. If you have 5 hours a week and you spend 4 of them tweaking your brand fonts, you're wasting your time. If you spend those 4 hours sending outreach emails or actually talking to potential customers, you are building a business. Prioritize tasks that put you in front of people who can pay you. Everything else can wait. If these questions are hitting home and you are serious about building your business without losing your mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We dive into practical, no fluff strategies like these every single week, and I don't want you to miss out. The boundaries question. How will you build your fortress of focus? You know your why, you found your time, and you've set your priorities. Now for the 4th and arguably the toughest question. What boundaries will you set to protect your time, energy, and sanity? Without clear lines in the sand, your 9 to 5 will bleed into your business time, and your business will bleed into your personal life. The result? Total exhaustion and a whole lot of resentment. This is where you build your fortress of focus. First, schedule your business hours in the calendar like they are unbreakable appointments with your most important client. Because that client is you. If you've committed to Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., that time is sacred. That is not the time to just quickly do the laundry or see what's new on Netflix. Second, set digital and physical boundaries. This could be as simple as having a separate user profile on your computer for your business. It also means communicating these boundaries to the people you live with. Let your family or roommates know your schedule so they can respect your focus time. And just as important, set a boundary with your business. When your time is up, shut it down. Don't check emails in bed. Protect your downtime with the same ferocity you protect your work time. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable part of long-term success. The progress question. How will you know you're winning? When you're grinding it out on evenings and weekends, it's dangerously easy to lose sight of how far you've come. That's why our fifth question is so important. How will you measure progress and stay motivated? Without clear milestones, you'll feel like you are sprinting on a treadmill, working your tail off but going absolutely nowhere. Your metrics for success must tie back to the why you defined earlier. If your goal is to eventually go full-time, your key metrics might be revenue, client numbers, or email subscribers. If your goal is a creative outlet, your metric might be finishing a chapter or publishing one new piece of content a week. Whatever your goals, break them down into bite-sized weekly or monthly targets. Instead of a fuzzy goal like get more clients, make it send 10 outreach proposals this week. It's specific, it's measurable, and it's within your control. And for the love of all that is holy, celebrate your small wins. Did you land your first paying customer? Celebrate it. Did you finally tackle a task you'd been dreading? Acknowledge it. These little celebrations create a positive feedback loop that builds momentum and keeps you in the game when the big wins feel miles away. The systems question. What tools can make success inevitable? You can't do this with sheer willpower. Trying to white-knuckle your way through 2 jobs is a recipe for a spectacular flameout. This brings us to question 6. What systems and tools can you put in place to automate your workflow and basically clone yourself? Think about systems in 2 buckets: task management and automation. For task management, you need one central hub to organize everything. Tools like Trello, Asana, or even a well-organized Google Calendar can be lifesavers. They get all those to-dos out of your brain and into a system you can trust, which frees up a ton of mental space. This is also where you can use techniques like time blocking or the Pomodoro method, working in focused 25 minutes bursts. For automation, hunt for repetitive tasks that a tool can do better and faster than you can. This could be using a social media scheduler to batch create your content in advance or setting up email templates for common questions. Using systems and tools isn't about being lazy, it's about being strategic. It frees up your most precious asset, your time, so you can focus on the stuff that actually grows your business. The contingency question. What is your plan for when life happens? Finally, you need a plan for when things go wrong, because they will. The 7th and final question is, how will you handle the curveballs that your job or your personal life will inevitably throw at you? Life is unpredictable. You'll get hit with a massive project at work that demands overtime. A family emergency will pop up, or you'll just get sick. Without a contingency plan, these events can completely shatter your momentum. Your plan should be about flexibility, not rigidity. Figure out your minimum effective dose, the absolute smallest amount of work you can do in a week to keep the embers glowing. Maybe during a crazy week at the office, all you can manage is sending 3 important emails or posting once on social media. That's fine. The goal is to maintain consistency, even when the intensity has to drop. This is also about giving yourself some grace, recognizing that you can't operate at 110% all the time is a sign of maturity, not weakness. Be prepared to temporarily scale back your business hours when life gets loud, without the guilt trip. Building a business on the side is a marathon, not a sprint. A contingency plan ensures you can handle the rough patches and stay in the race for the long haul. So, there you have it. The 7 questions that are the blueprint for building a business while holding down a 9 to 5. It all starts with knowing your why. It demands a real audit of your time and a laser focus on your priorities. It's held together with a fortress of boundaries, tracking your progress using smart systems and having a contingency plan for when life does its thing. One last pro tip before you dive in. Take a quick look at your employment contract. Some have non-compete clauses that could create headaches for your side business. So it's always smart to check first. Building a business on the side is one of the most challenging things you can do, but it's also one of the most rewarding. The fear of burnout is real, but it doesn't have to be your story. By asking these strategic questions up front, you shift from a mindset of frantic hustle to one of a smart, sustainable growth. You create a plan that works with your life, not against it. You have the dream, now you have the framework. The only thing left to do is start asking the right questions and take that first step. You've got this. Until next time, have a lovely day.